For those of you that own digital marketing agencies that are currently doing other services, maybe it's SEO, maybe it's web design, maybe it's content, maybe it's, I don't know. It doesn't matter, okay? The question is this: should you transition your agency to the rank and rent model, or at least add that as one of your services? And the reason I'm bringing this up, the reason I want to talk about this today is I've had so many people recently that are already running agencies, that already have SEO clients, that already have web clients or hosting clients or logo clients or this, that, or the rest. And they find out about this business model and they ask themselves immediately, what if I took the exact same clients that I'm already targeting or that are already my clients? And what if I just changed the deliverable? What if I just started selling lead generation instead of SEO? Lead generation instead of websites. And so I want to talk about that really quick because I went through this exact same thing in my own business. So back in 2017, I tried to do a software company. I had miserably failed, and I had 3 days. My wife was like, hey, you got 3 days. We need $3,000 on top of the $3,000 in the account. Yes, guys, I had $3,000 left in my business, or in my business account, in my bank account in general. And our bills were about $6K. And she's like, we need $3K. And if we don't have it in 3 days, like, you have to get a job. There's like no other option. And I'm like, I'll be damned if I'm going to get a job. So you know what I did is I did the only thing I knew how to do, which was go and charge people money for a service I knew how to do. And at the time, I kind of knew how to do SEO. And I realized that, hey, SEO is going to pay me regardless of if leads come in. So I started doing SEO. And the problem with SEO is the money is decent. And because the money's decent, it's really easy to start going down that hole, because let's say you get a $1,500 a month client, your margins are really nice. Your margins are probably 90% or even higher, or maybe a little less if you have it outsourced, but they're good margins, right? And so it's very easy to get into the SEO trap, as I call it, which is you start doing lead gen, or you have the idea to do lead gen, and all of a sudden you end up with an SEO company, and it looks good for a minute and you think you're killing it for a while. And then all of a sudden you realize your business can be gone in the snap of a finger, because the business owner has all the control. And the second they cancel, you have no asset to lean on. You have no asset that's yours. You literally just got paid to do work. You just got paid. You just traded your time for dollars and you own nothing, okay? So what I did is in 2017, I did SEO. I had to make money, and I did it for about 8 months. And I realized after about 8 months that scaling past 10K is very difficult, very difficult. I would get to 12 and then I would lose a client, and I would get to 11 and then I would lose a client, and I was fluctuating between 6 and 12, and I could never scale it up. And so I finally realized, I'm like, Nick, you're a knucklehead, man. You already know the game is owning the assets, so why are you still doing SEO? And so I made the change in July of 2018 to go to lead gen. It was the best decision that I ever made. Now, it did take me a year and a half before I realized pay per lead is not the model, and I need to go with flat fee, and everything did change for real in 2020. But I'm telling you right now, if you have aspirations, if you're doing this as more than just a hobby, if you're doing this to do it for real, and this is more than just a side gig, you are crazy to not change the business model, or you're crazy to not at least start offering the rank and rent model. Now, here's what I would do. If I had a host of SEO clients, okay, this is how I would make the transition, or I had a host of web clients or whatever. 99% of these people, especially the SEO ones, because nobody's paying for SEO that doesn't want leads. They're doing SEO because they want more business. They're doing SEO for leads, right? So you already know they want leads. So what I would do is I would go and take all of those clients and the city that they're in. So let's say, for example, you have a client in Las Vegas, let's say a Las Vegas flooring company, okay? We'll use that as an example. Just randomly pull that out. So what I would do is I would look at that client and I go, okay, first of all, does the niche fit the rank and rent model? Which is, it has to be niches that are phone driven, okay? And there's no brand loyalty. Those are the best ones. So I'd look at that and go, well, flooring could work because technically they come to your house to give an estimate, but also flooring, there's a lot of them that have like the storefront. You can go check out the flooring. So I don't know. So maybe you're like, I'm unsure. Let me go to the next client. And then you're like, okay, I have this client and this is in, let's just say Scottsdale Concrete, this concrete company that I'm doing it for, and I'm doing their SEO. And I would go and say, well, does this client's niche fit the criteria? And as you guys know, because you've been listening to this channel, of course it does. Concrete's an amazing niche for rank and rent. So okay, that checks the box. But before I just go all gung-ho, I would go and do the homework. I would go and look at Scottsdale. And I would ask the business owner, hey, do you cover Scottsdale and Mesa and Tempe and Phoenix and Glendale and Queen Creek and all these areas around? Do you, yes or no? Well, we cover this one and this one, but not that one. Okay, awesome. And I would go back to my computer and I would look at each one of those areas and look at the competition in each of those areas, okay? And then what I would do is on the back end with my own money, I would go and put up one-page landing pages for each of these cities that they're covering. So let's say that they're in Scottsdale for concrete. You're trying to rank their website as a Scottsdale concrete website, but they also cover Mesa. I'd go put up a one-page landing page in Mesa, assuming that the competition was weak, assuming it checked the boxes. I'd put up a one-page landing page, and with my own money, I'd go run some ads to that landing page, and I would generate a couple leads, and I would call the business owner that's my client, and I'd say, hey, before I go and shop this around, before I go and find somebody else, I wanted to let you know I have this website. It's not in Scottsdale, it's in Mesa. It's generating leads. It's getting leads. I have this, or you can even tell me it's this project. I wanted to test it out and it's going really well. I've got a couple leads for you. I'm going to give them to you for free. And I wanted out of respect to give you the first right of refusal. This is going to be a bit different, Mr. Business Owner, Mrs. Business Owner. I'm not going to be doing the SEO on your website. I'm actually going to be doing all the SEO on my website, and you're only going to get leads. And I would pitch them doing this. Now, here's what's cool about this is number one, you already have the client. They already trust you. They already like you. So it shouldn't be that difficult. You already know, number two, they want more business because they're paying for SEO, right? And this is the gangster part. Number three, this is going to keep them as a client for life, because I promise you, and I know some of you guys are going to disagree with me, but the time will come, they will cancel SEO. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how quick you rank. I don't care how many jobs they're getting. They will always freaking cancel. And I get a little excited about that because it pisses me off as bad as it should piss you off, that you do the work, you get them to page one, and they always cancel every single time. But you know how you can beat that? Is you can take some of those profits and quit spending it on dumb shit, and you can go and build lead generation sites that feed the business owner, and you get them locked into these lead generation contracts, okay? And they don't even need to be contracts, for goodness sake. They will never cancel a lead generation contract, because the second that they cancel, the second they stop paying, the leads are off, okay? And now you have control. Now you have an asset. Now you have something where you get to call the shots, and you say, hey, I don't care if you cancel, but guess what? You know that guy you don't like down the street that does the concrete? He's your competition. I could go to him. And maybe you don't need to say it like that, but you need to let them know. So the question of, should I add the rank and rent model as a service? Should I transition to a different deliverable that is selling leads using the rank and rent model? The answer is yes. Yes, yes, yes. Unless you are somebody that likes trading your time for dollars, doesn't like owning assets, and doesn't care if your clients cancel. Guys, I think you know the answer to this. You probably did the second I started doing this video. I've been there. You're probably there right now. Make the switch. You'll never freaking regret it.